What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Boosie Badass, or Lil Boosie, has come out on Instagram and has come to Diddy's defense after the bad boy mogul was denied bail, saying that while he totally condemns Diddy for his actions in that horrible, horrific tape that came out a couple months ago showing him battering Cassie in a hotel lobby, while he totally condemns Diddy for those actions and said the man needs help, what he's not understanding is that a lot of these charges are penalizing Diddy for things that are commonplace within the industry. The freak-offs, saying that most celebrities participate in this. It's just that Diddy might be freakier than others. And he insinuates that this is a larger crackdown on hip-hop artists and black celebrities. He says, I feel Diddy's in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done, which is fly chicks. I'm cleaning this up a little bit. Fly chicks out for threesomes. He's just freakier. We actually go call women, are we actually going to call women tricks who fly in willingly to be with their partners for intimate acts? If that's the case, if you've been flyed in and flew out and had sex, you should be labeled a trick. If that's the case, that's 80% of the women reading this. And trafficking, hell no. You're a celebrity. You got to fly people in. How else are you going to get the cookie? You've never in one place at one time too long. When I saw that video, I was pissed off at this dude. Like, he really got a problem. Talking about the beating. But facing life in prison for basically doing what so many other entertainers have done, I vociferously disagree. I added that in, vociferously. I'm starting to feel like this whole trafficking charge for flying women in for threesomes will be a tool used to take down hip-hop artists and celebrities. Just think about it. Who's flying I'm a little confused about that one. Who flying yeah, and to turn up? A little bit confused with that one. Who always in a different city and gotta fly, sex into them? Who ain't tripping? Go give their sex partner little change. Think about it. I know what he's trying to say. Who are the people who are doing this and flying them in and have this type of lifestyle? It's celebrities. Think about it. This is real. If you fly a chick and y'all turn up and give her a little change so she's straight, when she gonna go home, that's now labeled trafficking. Hashtag rappers, hashtag athletes, hashtag D-boys, hashtag politicians. Be careful who you fly in. So yeah, basically what he's saying is this is hypocrisy. Like, this is standard. The politicians do this. Okay? Politicians, celebrities, athletes, anybody with means, and you're not in one place at one time, you have shorties who you have on call, who you fly in. But now by this new weird definition, that's now trafficking. And then the weird part about it, the weirdest part, is that the only persons penalized in this situation really are the males. I'm of the strong belief now that with Kamala Harris possibly being elected or selected, I'm speculating here. I think that in the long term, I think what they're going to do is, because we already see it legalized in parts of Nevada, they're going to legalize prostitution. And I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of the so-called pimps. They're trying to cut the middleman out. and the government is going to be the regulators of this stuff. That's what I'm starting to think is going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to be completely nationwide, but you're going to start seeing more states like California, parts of New York, I would imagine, parts of Michigan, parts of Illinois, I would put it, ATL, definitely Shocktown. What I'm starting to think, Maryland, Baltimore. I'm starting to think that as we go further in the future, certain areas are going to legalize this. And yeah, I think so. I think it'll be regulated. Now, how do you track the money? Man, it might be a situation where they're going to have brothels or centers where you go and you do something and they're going to track the money. You pay for it in some form or fashion, and they got to keep a receipts of it, and the government get their tax from it. Something's going to happen. I think that I think they're in the process. We're in the process. We're so far left in policy and social issues, at least, that I think this is a possibility. And you know, also crime. Well, I shouldn't say crime. Crime busting, quote unquote, crime fighting. The prison industrial complex, as I've talked about before, it's a business. And I've said this before. There's a link between the music industry and the prison industrial complex. Okay? There have been meetings in the early 90s between the leaders of the prison industrial complex and the higher ranking music industry bigwigs. And there's been a plot for 30 years, especially in hip hop, to change and alter the subject matter and video and music, and videos to a more sinister and darker tone. It started happening in the 92, 93, where the focus went from conscious hip hop to more street hip hop. And the subject matter is less about fighting the system and social consciousness to more about beefing one another and a premeditation of violence and all of this type of stuff, and then debauchery. And all of this is, in my opinion, to program particularly young black males to engage in violence, which then feeds the prison industrial complex, because more and more prisons are privately owned. The bigger the prison, the more bodies, the more profit that those who are invested in these prisons get. And it's been rumored that many of the people in hip hop are invested in the prison. Even some of your favorite rappers. Yes, some of your favorite rappers are invested in these prisons. They're invested in your destruction, and they participate by feeding you this poison. But anyway, that's just my theory on this. I think Boosie has a point. Tell me what you guys think.